Besties, I'm going to be a hater today because we're going to be talking about my fashion ick, because I think it's a very imperative thing to know in order to find what you enjoy in your clothing. And these are my personal preferences, and I'm just giving my unsolicited opinions on it. And of course, if you like some of these, at the end of the day, wear what you want. And also, I will say that I am one who's really open to things, have tried some of these trends, so don't be surprised. I'm not saying like I'm above all, have never participated in this, because I probably have. So that's the whole cool thing about finding fashion and experimenting and taking the time to reflect on what you enjoy, because then you really get to know what are the pieces that you want in your closet and essentially how you want your style to be. It's all process and reflect, baby. So let's get into it. The first one is a no surprise, because it's something I always irritate. Why is it that like I have the word in my brain and I know I can say it, but like me saying it out loud, it's not coming out? This is something you have heard me say time and time again, and that is quarter sleeve. I understand some people enjoy these, but for me, I just remember kind of like this stigma that my mom used to tell me as I was younger, because she wore a lot of 3/4 sleeve tops, and that was just that it was because she was doing it to hide one of her insecurities. And I understand her feelings are very valid, but I feel like she was pushing this kind of idea onto me when I really didn't even, I think, had that insecurity in myself. For me, the whole like 3/4 of a sleeve length just wasn't something that I always enjoy. It's just, for me, it's an awkward length, especially as someone who is taller. Like even like regular long sleeves can end a little bit shorter on me, so I really look forward for something that is super long. Look at these arms. Like I needed to fit, okay? Your girl is 5'7". I need something that long. I feel like if I'm gonna go for a short sleeve, I don't need one that ends at my elbow, you know? I'll wear a short sleeve, I'll wear a halter. I don't want in-betweeners. This particular length for me is very close to just how I was socialized to think on certain things that I shouldn't wear as a young child. But I think as I've grown older and experimented with my style, it's like, I don't like it. That's just my thing though. You do you. Racerbacks tops were like everywhere. Like, remember where racerback tops started? But I know in my era of 2010s, like 2010s to 2015, racerback tops were everything. And I feel like it was always really hard to wear this specific top when you're wearing undergarments. Like the type of bra you needed to wear with this specific style tops was always so complicated. I even feel like there was little infomercials on little like hacks that you can do, or called like little brooches that you can get to make your own bra already into a racer bra. And it was just like, if you already need to do all those steps on this particular top, like, well, it isn't it. Trying to wear this with like strapless bras, and I always thought it looked off too, like the way the shirt would hang over a strapless bra. I think for me, when it becomes a little bit, you need to put all this extra work to style it, it's not gonna do it. And I know that I think a lot of activewear is essentially where this kind of style come from. I think obviously activewear is very selective. It's not something you're wearing all the time. At least for me, I don't wear activewear as everyday wear, so it just doesn't make sense for me to have these like style tops. Right, so this next one is expose zipper like tapes. This is me literally calling out to 2010s fashion, I guess. I feel like this is where I saw a lot of this like exposed zipper. You know how there's tops that have zippers and the lining of the zipper is inside, but when it's intentionally made to show outside, like it just looks so weird. And also because sometimes they're in like an opposite color. I think of it kind of like a top like this where you can see the exposed zipper in a black like tape. It's just, why are you trying to make this little thing a statement? It shouldn't be, because at the end of the day, a zipper is for function, and it's usually more hidden, so you don't see it with a garment because it's not part of the style. So the fact that this like exposed zipper became a style is strange to me. I will say I don't think I see a lot of pieces like this, but there was a time. Pants without pockets. I will say there is a time and a place. I do love me a good yoga pant. For this would be more specific, like trousers or jeans. Like I don't understand why I would wear jeans without pockets. But without butt pockets, I'm okay with. You know, the Y2K butt pocket baby fat jean, your girl wear them, the booty look good. I understand on some concepts. When they just don't have pockets in the front either, and they're supposed to technically have pockets, why? I understand people wear bags, but I am someone who doesn't always carry a bag and just needs something to put in a pocket like quickly. And so to just not have pockets on certain pants really takes away the function of the garment. And I feel like sometimes with pants we need that function. Like, it's not something that sometimes like will like push me away of purchasing the item, because I will say the piece I am wearing right now doesn't have pockets. I have worn pieces without pockets, but I think when it comes to just pants in particularly, when they're intentionally made to have pockets and they don't, or they don't have pockets that are functional, it just doesn't make sense to me. Fashion can be comfortable, functional, versatile, and purposeful. Like, that's all I want. Okay, I am guilty of this one for sure, but I think now, as I am just understanding the silhouette of pants that I like, I realize I prefer a top that can adjust to that. Anything cropped is definitely for me like I try to avoid type of thing. There is times where I thrift a top and it doesn't fit me in the length, it fits me crop, and I try not to get it. But there is times that I have, which hey, guilty. Like I said, not perfect here. I participated in some of these things, but this is why I have the icks now, because it's like, girl, what were you doing? I don't know, girly. I don't know. I'm figuring it out though. Since I now understand that I do like more of a mid-rise, and I do like tops that are longer, because I think you can always adjust the length for yourself if you do want to crop it. I also feel like usually with crop tops, like, yes, you can wear low-waisted, mid-rise, whatever, but I tend to wear crop tops with high-waisted things, and I don't always wear high-waisted things. So I feel like having a top that is just a particular length and not being able to adjust it isn't the most beneficial in my closet. This is probably one of my ultimate icks. I despise this a lot, but again, I understand the functionality of it. But it is men who wear flip-flops out and about. Emphasis out and about, because I understand wearing flip-flops for certain things. Like, you wear them inside the house as a sandal. You're going to the beach and you need to wear flip-flops. But again, I've seen people wear tennis shoes to the beach. So, I mean, but that could be your pet peeve. The raw dogging of the toes of these men out in public. It's just an ick I cannot explain. I just don't want to see that part of your body for myself. It's hot, you want the toes out, you need to let them breathe, but like, maybe you should let them breathe in some AC back at home. But then again, maybe I'm a little jealous that some of these men have prettier toes than I do. But that's a little, I don't know, that's up for debate. A lot of them I don't think they do, and they're just like literally exposing it to me. Every time I see a man wearing sandals, like, I'm going to look at your feet and I'm going to judge. And it's probably something they do to me as well. They're like, girl, you ain't got the cutest feet. And it's like, I get it, but it's different on girly pops. It's different for me personally. I'm thinking about men in flip-flops gives me the ick. And my beautiful man, Luigi, he wears them flip-flops inside, you know, but he ain't wearing them out there, okay? He ain't raw dogging it out there. I would be baffled if he did. Another one that I feel like I've mentioned before, but no adjustable strap. I need adjustable straps, and I think it's really imperative because pieces just wear differently on different people. When there is no adjustable straps on tops or dresses, it's really hard for me just when it comes to the fit. I'm someone who has a longer torso, or my chest like ends differently, you know, so I need to be able to adjust the length on these things. There has been many times that I bought pieces that don't have this adjustable strap, and I always tend to regret it because they just never end up fitting like I wanted to. It's just a little fashion ick if they don't have adjustable straps, because you're literally limiting how you can wear this piece to a specific person. At the end of the day, fashion isn't like how it was in the 17th and 18th century, where people were literally going to your home to make your pieces tailored to your body. We're now in a place where things are, sold and in a very standard sizing, and also not always very cohesive. You need the pieces to be a little bit more adjustable to whoever is buying them. So that's why for me, not having the adjustable straps is like, what are you doing? I understand it's to make it look a little bit more tailored and sophisticated, but it's gonna eliminate a lot of people who can try this piece, and that for me is like an ick. I can't even say this word. It's a tongue twister for me, but it is this specific kind of tops. Crawl? Is it crawl? Crawl tops. I have no idea how to say this word. I think it's just that extra fabric, the way it just lays here. I just don't really enjoy that. It just looks like the piece isn't done, and I just tend to not wear them. I do see why they might have that, especially if you're someone who has a bigger chest and you need that room, you need that extra fabric. But usually just the fit and the style, how it hangs, just don't like, especially on my own body. I feel like I'm always like either trying to tug the fabric to make it look a little bit more fitted, because I think if I wanted something baggy on myself, I would go for like an overall baggy flowy top, not just a one section that has that. And I think that's why these overly excessive material on one specific area, it's always a style that has caught me off guard. I was like, should I talk about this? Because I'm literally wearing a similar version of this, and I think there's a variety of different styles of this, but I also don't like all of them. So this is how I tell you that it can be like contradictory. Okay, so the fashion is rompers. My ick with rompers usually tends to be the fit. There's certain type of rompers that are not adjustable, so it just doesn't really end up fitting right on each person. I need as much fabric as I can get, and sometimes with these rompers, I try them on and it's like, ooh, camel toe city, okay? And it just doesn't work out because I can't really adjust the silhouette on myself. And I will say right now, I am wearing a romper. I do wear certain rompers like this one. I think this is the only one I have in my closet actually that I like. But I mean, I was thinking, is short overalls a romper? Is overalls a romper technically? But I do like those. But I think the reason why I like those, because you could adjust it on the straps. So that's why this one I was like, I don't know if it's an ick or just something that I just try to avoid purchasing, because it's like a 50-50. I'm literally wearing a romper right now, but there's a specific type of rompers I dislike. I think a lot of us maybe have this ick, and it's just the circle zippers. There was a time where the circle zipper was everything. I had it on shoes, a sweater, and I don't know what it is. I guess it's just like the circle zipper gives to me like 2013, 2015 style, and I think it's just really, again, another thing about like making the zipper so prominent. I feel like it makes a garment look cheap, but I also think it's because this specific zipper was really big with like Forever 21. It's giving to me cheap and fast fashion, and I think that is why. But yeah, I just don't like when things that shouldn't be exposed are exposed. Paper bag, anything. So pants, skirts, shorts. I just don't like this silhouette at all. It's just so strange to me to have all this extra fabric out. It's not for me. It is not for me. I don't know what to say. It's just, to me, it is giving potato sack. That's all I can think about. It's just not something that I would wear, but to each its own. This is another one talking about, I guess, material, but patent leather, like the shiny leather. I will say I do have some patent leather boots in my closet that I still wear, that I think I got, I don't even know, back in like 2018, 2017. I don't know what it is about having this shiny leather material. I'm just not really into it. I rather, for me personally, get, leather secondhand. The quality is just better, and I just don't like the shininess of patent leather. But do I still wear my boots that are patent leather? Hell yeah, I do. But it's not like my first choice. I'd rather wear my actual thrifted leather brat style boots first. But there's a time and place where I wear the other ones. The way that feels, like, have you touched patent leather? It's just like so strange, squeaky. It's giving the SpongeBob episode. It has, oh my God, now it reminds me that sometimes when you walk, and if the boots hit, it really does make that sound. I think that's another reason why I don't like anything patent leather. Now let's talk about Squarespace. I'm genuinely so stoked that I get to work with Squarespace again, because they are the platform I'm using to create a website for myself. I wasn't sure on how to start creating a website, and I appreciate that Squarespace has a variety of pre-made templates, whether that be showcasing your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid. You get it all done in one place. The navigational tool makes it simple to switch up the font, add images, and even change the background colors of your website. You can even do a password protection on your website, whether that is because you have your website under construction or you have certain clientele that you only want them to access. If you're interested in opening an e-commerce site, you can buy and print USPS shipping labels for all your orders directly from Squarespace. Furthermore, they provide all sale analytics and a variety of different data and all the demographics you will need. Head to squarespace.com/Karina Gomez to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this portion of the video. And now let's get back to it. This one is very specific, but just so many logos on pieces, or like if you're wearing an outfit, it's just all logoed out. And I think this is mainly usually with designer pieces, when people wear the designer and the logo is all monogrammed everywhere. I know there's a different vibe with the Y2K Dior, like Paris Hilton vibe. You don't need to tell me that this thing is Dior, me who owns a monogram Dior bag. I understand having one piece, but like when you're decked out wearing all monogram, like virtual singling to me, I feel like we don't need to see it, okay? Like a whole pants top or a whole dress with the shoes and the hat and yeah, that's a lot. This one will probably be no surprise, but I think we were hearing a lot about it, and that is boat shoes. They give me the ick, okay? I know that people were wearing their boat shoes out and about, but they're literally like the name is in the title, honey. They're boat shoes for a reason. Like, to me, the silhouette is off. It's like a wannabe loafer, but it's not, because it's supposed to be a little bit more casual than a loafer, right? But even though loafers can be casual, to me, it's also mixed like with a moccasin. I think it's just like a little bit confusing exactly what the style of these are. And I'm all down for like having a statement shoe in an outfit, but these don't feel like they are as versatile as other shoes. Here's another fashion ick. It's not really specifically a piece, but more of a concept, okay? And that is a concept of flattering, wearing pieces to be flattering. And I think y'all know this gives me the fashion ick. I did a video about why I don't dress, in flattering pieces, because at the end of the day, like, I feel like the concept of flattering doesn't really allow you to explore your fullest potential in yourself and in fashion and how you want to creatively express yourself. And I think, there is so political and social consequences with that. And to me, flattering is just one of those terms that I understand certain people like things in a certain way and proportions, but I don't think having that an outfit needs to be flattering to be cool or also, like, you know what I mean? Who am I supposed to be flattering to? Because if I like it and I'm wearing it for myself, like, isn't that all that matters? Like, who's supposed to care if it's flattering on myself besides me? So that is why I just hate the whole concept of flattering. Just do you, wear what you want. The last fashion ick that I have for today, but I definitely have more if you want to see another video of this. Brands charging over $50+ on polyester pieces. It gives me the ick. And this is something that I wanted to dive in a full video, but I just feel like there's so much to talk about this concept in general. Even like recently, I feel like there's obviously price gouging that has happened with clothing pieces and stuff, but like certain brands selling like dresses like over $200 plus, and you come to find out that it's just all polyester. Like, what the heck is this? Like, why are you upcharging for polyester? It makes no sense to me. Like, the whole point of, I guess, to me, charging something a little bit more expensive is because of the quality of the materials that you're using. And a lot of these brands are just upcharging to do it just because we could. At this point, I'm like, why are they charging $200 for polyester? It's not even silk, it's not even cotton, It's like, why? I just don't understand this whole concept. And I know all of us are here are a little bit more in tune and more aware, and you know, we probably don't spend that much on polyester because we really care what we put on our bodies. But it's like, there's people out there that don't. Like, there's people that are shopping at these stores and spending those $200 plus on polyester, and I just feel like they are getting ripped off, and that is not cool, because I feel like you can find a beautiful secondhand piece, 100% silk, beautiful like dress for even less than $200. Like, I am so shocked by now. So that is probably my biggest fashion ick, and I would have loved to dive into more of this because I just feel like there's so many interesting topics when it comes to this and discussions, but I'm not prepared for that at the moment. I just don't understand the price gouging on these specific things, especially if it's not even meant to last. Anyways, friends, those are my fashion icks. I would love to know some of yours because it's always so interesting to see what are some things that we're just not vibing with. And again, I think this is a good thing to talk about because it allows you to reflect on pieces that you do enjoy and pieces that you try to avoid, so that you just are more mindful. Okay, that's the only way we can do it. The only way we can be more, you know, in tune with ourselves and what we enjoy is to also talk about the negative things we don't like. And yeah, I think that shows growth. I can do a video where I react to your fashion icks and see if I agree or not. I think that'd be so much fun. So let me know down below, what are some of your fashion icks? Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. I'm having so much fun with you here. Love you lots, and I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye.